scoreboard.
If this game gets out of control or gets to a bad point, I've got a really good question for you. I was going to ask Josh. I got it for you.
I've got plenty. And, if you listen to our broadcasts, especially mine, whenever it's like it gets out of hand, it's hard not to go off on tangents. Nope. Good evening. Sorry if you heard us talking there, but my name is Joe Rhodes. Next to me, the one, the only Todd Ashball for tonight's WPIAL section matchup between the Fox Chapel Foxes and the Armstrong Riverhawks here from Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. We're going to turn it over to Jake Canish for the public address of the starting lineups, also the national anthem here. Again, from the Hawks Nest in Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Stay tuned.
Junior Senior High School Gymnasium for tonight's girls basketball section matchup featuring the Fox Chapel Foxes and your Armstrong Riverhawks. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if they will please rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Before announcing starting lineups for tonight's contest, Armstrong High School WPIAL began to play promote the highest ideals of good sportsmanship. Actions or language meant to demean contestants, teams, spectators, and officials are not in the highest ideals of interscholastic education and will not be tolerated. Let today's contest reflect mutual respect. We request your cooperation supporting today's contestants and contest officials in a positive manner. Offensive and unsportsmanlike language or conduct will not be tolerated and may serve as grounds for removal. Please respect our student athletes, coaches, contest officials, and game administration with your cooperation to promote a safe, positive game environment. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the starting lineups for tonight's section matchup. First for the guest on the scoreboard and dressed in black, the Foxes of Fox Chapel High School. A 5'4" junior guard, number 1, Lila Jawan. A 5'5" freshman guard, number 2, Bailey Sacco. A 5'3" sophomore guard, number 5, Emily McNee. A 5'8" senior forward, number 12, Natalia Schaefer. And a 5'7" senior guard, number 22, Bella Urso. The head coach of the Foxes is Martin Matney and assisted by Amanda Cowell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the starting five for the home team on the scoreboard this evening, and dressed in white, your Armstrong Riverhawks. A 5'10" freshman guard, number 20, Amelia Geyser. A 5'9" sophomore guard, number 22, Gemma Swartz. A 5'3" senior guard, number 21, Bella
Warriors starting lineups presented by Jake Kanish, and also tonight's starting lineup sponsor, Olson Chiropractic. Thank you to Dr. Ryan Olson and the folks over at Olson Chiropractic for their support of Armstrong Riverhawks basketball. Todd?
Looking for a good matchup here tonight. I see Coach Caliper is going to go with the 3 seniors to start their last game on this floor. A lot of good memories, I'm sure, for Marlo Mellish, Avery Hogan, and Isabella Yancey.
Yeah, certainly, and there's something special about that, the last game at home, and certainly this team, as you mentioned, a lot of good memories here, certainly last year among those, getting to play in a WPIAL championship, the first in the program's history. So
I was thinking on the drive in, about these girls' career, and, they, are a little bit in a rebuilding year, and it's tough when you're a senior to be rebuilding. But their memory of playing at the Pete and being in that game and the magic that, took place for the postseason for them was unbelievable, and they're always going to carry that with them.
Indeed, and like you said, it's tough whenever that is your junior season. I kind of experienced something similar myself as the first bucket in after the Foxes win the tip. That was number 1, Layla Jablon, with the first bucket of the game.
She's the heart and soul of this team. You'll see her. She's the motor that drives this Fox Chapel team. Really nice player, point guard, 11th grader, junior.
But yeah, it was a special thing for Armstrong, as I was mentioning there, to get to play in that WPIAL championship game last year. But maybe a little tough sledding this year, maybe a better word for it, but trying to finish off
nice
there.
Up and under there. Oh, nice up and under by Hogan.
Ooh. Out of its second chance opportunity for the Riverhawks. Swartz with the basketball.
Hogan with a drop step. She's going to get that one.
Nice job there by Hogan. So the Riverhawks tie things up at 2 apiece here, first quarter. Todd, you certainly are going to know a lot more about this Fox Chapel team than myself, but a nice little move there, step around, but a foul. Really, what's their MO? You mentioned Jablon there to start, but kind of what were we kind of going to see out of the Foxes here tonight?
Well, Jablon drives the engine. She's the one that will run the show out there, but they have a good freshman that they start. Her name's Bailey Sacco, 9th grader. And be on the lookout for 2 seniors, Bella Urso, and the girl that's on the line here, Natalia Schaefer.
Schaefer's first shot is
Schaefer was the hero up here 2 years ago as a sophomore. She hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer to put the game into overtime, and then Foxes ended up beating the Riverhawks, which is a little bit of an upset up here 2 years ago.
The both buckets good there by the aforementioned Schaefer, the hero a couple years ago. And I remember that game. I believe I was on the call that night. Steal there away from Yancey.
Doing a nice job for the Foxes this year.
Nothing doing on that trip for Armstrong. Fox Chapel back with it, trying to extend the 6-2 advantage. Jablon kicks it out, open 3,
Urso.
Good. And Urso, one of those seniors, I believe you said.
Yes.
To watch out for.
Very good player. She's had some great games at Fox Chapel. Really good player. Nice career there.
Get the score updated for you. There we go. Swartz. Oh, I thought she picked up her dribble there. But nice save by Jablon. You mentioned her offense. It's not just her offense. Some nice defense there from.
No, a lot of court awareness and basketball IQ there.
And Coach Jim Caliper is going to call a timeout as he throws those arms out to signal the full timeout. But yeah, right there, you're kind of seeing a little bit of everything from the Foxes. Good defense leading to some offense and helping them out to an 11-2 lead, Todd.
You can just tell, watching Jablon there, go to save the ball. A lot of kids will just try to save that ball just to nowhere. She had time to realize that she was going to be able to float in the air a little bit and look for where to throw that. And, even though it wasn't like perfectly to another Fox Chapel player, it was an area where they could gather it and come down and they got a hoop out of it. It's a good timeout there by Coach Caliper. He needed that for sure, try to get the troops straightened up before this game starts to get a little bit ahead of him, here in the first quarter.
And I kind of want to ask you this from a coach's perspective. I think what you're wanting from Jim Caliper, or you don't want to say moral victories. That's something coaches kind of shy away from saying, I would think. But the growth that you would expect to see game to game, I think has been positive for Armstrong this year. You talk about Gemma Swartz right there, a Gazer, right now the reigning athlete of the week in the Leader Times.
Yeah, I saw she was. She's a good player. There's a lot to look forward to for the future of this team. And I really like the way Geyser plays, and she's only a 9th grader, so I like the way she contributes. There's some other 9th graders that are helping out, and I know that the junior high program is strong, and they'll be on their way up here too.
So I guess, yeah, to kind of put a bow on that, you're not going to necessarily see wins in terms of, wins on the ledger, but you're looking to see that growth, I think, game to game, Todd, and I think that Armstrong's done a good job of that this year.
Yeah, no one was expecting with what he lost for Coach Caliper to, make the playoffs this year or to have any kind of year that he had the last couple of years. But they're playing hard for him, and they haven't given up, and that's all really he asked for from the coach's standpoint.
The aforementioned Gazer right there with a rebound. Now a dump inside to Hogan, tipped out of bounds. Will stay here with Armstrong with 4:42 remaining in the first quarter.
Nice idea by Yancey there, just not quite enough arc on that.
I think Armstrong's been pretty fortunate the last couple of years to have some size. Obviously, Gazer, as you mentioned there, not a short player. Hogan has got some height to her as well. Something Armstrong utilized well in the past and trying to utilize here again in 2025. Great. As the steal by Fox Chapel quickly going the other way. Here's Jablon, nice shot fake, decides to pass it. And a travel. And right there, Todd, unselfish play there by Jablon. I think she had an opportunity to probably pull that, but decided to get that extra pass in there. Unfortunately for the Foxes, a traveling call ensued.
Yeah, really nice. You can tell that the girls played a lot of AAU basketball and has been around the block. Something with somebody with a high IQ would do.
Yeah, apologize trying to get this scoreboard updated for you guys. It's not syncing for some reason. Get her going.
Nice little jumper there by Yancey, just missed. Good rebound, Hogan.
So Armstrong, really offense has been a big struggle for them, I think, throughout the year, Todd. And, we're in the latter stages now, but it's kind of been a struggle for the Riverhawks, as mentioned, in that department.
Yeah, this is a team that's just going to have to play really good defense and rely on keeping scores low. And I'm sure Coach Caliper knows that.
Hogan getting the trip to the charity stripe, 4:04 remaining, first quarter. Back rim, no good, stays alive, but Hogan had it for a moment. Somehow Mellish comes away with it, but throws a dart to the hands of the aforementioned Hogan. The ball going back to Fox Chapel, who leads 11-2.
A little too much on that. Nice job by Mellish. Good hustle there to get control of that loose basketball. Just put a little too much on it.
A little too much sauce, as we'd say.
Yep.
Some raw sauce there. Armstrong going to a zone here. I don't believe they were in a zone prior to this.
They were not.
Nice shot, Schaefer. That was number 12, Natalie Schaefer. She's one of those seniors as well that you mentioned. So a little bit of everything for this Fox Chapel team, it seems, Todd. Some youth and some talent in the underclassmen, but some seniors as well that kind of have been there and done that for this Fox Chapel team.
Yeah, Coach Marty McVeigh's been around for a while too, and he really knows his stuff, and he has these girls like a fine-tuned machine here.
Another a good job by Fox Chapel to get the ball out in transition, and then Schaefer, the recipient of that final pass for the bucket. So now 15-2, the Foxes lead. And unfortunately for Armstrong, little coming out of that timeout a moment ago by Coach Jim Caliper as we near the 2:50 mark of the first quarter. Nothing on that one by Hogan. Nice idea by Armstrong to dump it down in, but the double team stops Hogan from getting a basket. And just like that, Schaefer getting her third consecutive now, Todd.
Yeah, she's having a day already. She's got a little Katanning tie-in, too. Her dad went to high school with me, went to Katanning High School.
Okay.
Moved to Fox Chapel, and that's where they live now. But, yeah, she's half Katanning girl, so.
So that black and orange on her uniform, not a foreign thing then, I guess.
Right.
When we have a timeout, let's thank one of our sponsors. Of course, the one, the only Ryan Bowser State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser State Farm is there. Check them out in Ford City today. Address, phone number right up there on the top of the screen. He's your scoreboard sponsor this evening. Make sure you give him a call for all your insurance needs. Ryan's an awesome dude and appreciate his support. But, yeah, this Fox Chapel team, you said fine oiled machine, and they're certainly playing like it right now, and the score indicates that.
Yeah, they traveled up here. They were ready to go, getting off the bus for sure. They have started off this game a strong way.
Hopefully we'll get this scoreboard working here momentarily. In the meantime, back to the action.
You got Schaefer going to the line here to complete a 3-point play. She's already sitting with 10 points.
Talia Schaefer at the line, shoot a bonus shot for the Foxes.
That's up and good. So Schaefer, a really nice stretch here over the last couple minutes. Foxes extend their lead 18-2. And the Armstrong offense still struggling. Certainly, I think the idea is they want to dump it down inside and run things through Hogan.
Yeah, it seems like they have a little bit of a mismatch there, but Fox Chapel's doing a nice job. I noticed the last time doubling that entry pass. She's had some good opportunities, though.
Yancey with the basketball. Guarded well by Bailey Sacco. And another turnover by Armstrong. But a travel, so right back to the Riverhawks. Basketball being bounded to the baseline.
Nice job by another young player there for the Hawks, sophomore Chanel Bronson. She did a nice job tying that ball up and getting the ball back to Armstrong there.
Yeah, youthful lineup outside of Mellish right now for the Riverhawks. Nearing the 2-minute mark, little backdoor pass, but kind of stared that one down a little bit, did Gazer. Fox Chapel all over it, fouled, and another trip to the free throw line by Fox Chapel. And Todd, it's becoming apparent quickly that Fox Chapel not afraid to get the ball out and try to score in transition.
Yeah, they have some good athletes, and moving the ball up the court is something you want to do when you have athletes, and they're doing a nice job with it.
Schaefer at the line a moment ago. Now it's Bella Urso, another senior.
Another really nice player for the Foxes. Yes, he's got a well-rounded squad. She's last in line of the long athletic family of Ursos that came through Fox Chapel.
Urso 1 for 2 from line.
Her brother is the head coach at Pittsburgh Central Catholic, I believe.
Really? Look at the stats. That's why I love doing games with guys like you, Todd. You always come prepared, but you come with these facts that I think are that even if I spent the whole day researching, I probably would have no idea that was the case. As Paw comes away with it, another one of those young players for Armstrong, who we've seen some nice steady progress out of her. Another player with some size for Armstrong.
Yeah, another young player that shows a lot of promise.
Swartz with the basketball. Pass up the wing. A drive
nice
by
take.
Gazer. Nice job getting that step on the veteran, Natalie Schaefer. And as a result, Gazer will head to the line. And
it's a nice mature decision there by Geyser. You know, sees a little opening, takes the dribble drive to the hoop.
Geyser's the line shooting 2 for the Riverhawks. Their first shot is up and good.
Up and good for the first one. Back in the game. 2 seniors, Hogan and Yancey for the Riverhawks. Todd, you mentioned the junior high program showing some promise for Armstrong as well.
Yes, they're very good. I believe they only lost 1 or 2 games their season. They're very good. They have some good coaching and also some great athletes there at that level.
Another turnover by Fox Chapel, so see if Armstrong can continue to capitalize on that. Certainly Fox Chapel's done a good job of making Armstrong pay for some of their misfortunes on the...
Yeah, I believe you think this Riverhawk team is young this year. Next year it'll be even younger, where I think some of those girls will start as freshmen.
I remember it would have been probably, 4 years ago now, when then head coach Kirk Morgan was telling me, look out for number 4. She's going to be good. And I was thinking, yeah. He's like, no, she's really going to be good. She's going to be the best player in the section possibly her freshman year. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. I was watching, shameless plug, I was watching High Top Sports, her very first game that she played over in Indiana. And you guys probably were doing that game. And after I watched that game, I'm like, this girl was the real, I don't know how many, she had 44 points or something sick. And just thought, unbelievable.
I'm so glad you brought that game up, because that's the game where I finally was like, Morgan was right. He was very, very right. And the best part about that game is Fox Chapel now at the line. And if nobody knows what we're talking about, it's, of course, Emma Paul. That kind of goes without saying if you watch the network the last few years. The first free throw, no good by Bailey Sacco. that was played in Indiana's secondary gym, their old gym.
With the old mural and the American flag on the wall. I know which one you're talking about, yep.
Riddled with dead spots, just absolutely riddled with them. So you'd even hear it during the game if the ball was dribbled anywhere near them. But that didn't seem to affect Emma Paul that night, as Todd alluded to, a huge scoring effort. And then the school record, which was later broken by Caden Olson, which then she later took back 4 years later her senior year, 3 years later her senior year.
Yeah, so that was a game at Mars that she lit it up down there. Got the school record back.
Yeah, what a treat, I always say, that it was to have the privilege to cover the time period where you had Emma Paul. You'd come in here and watch basketball games, you'd have Emma Paul one night, and the very next you'd have Caden Olson. Certainly a fun to call. It was fun for us, and certainly fun, I'm sure, for everybody out there watching.
I'm glad you mentioned those two, because when we come up on the quarter break here after we talk about the sponsors, I've got a really good question for you that I want you to think about during the rest of the game.
Okay.
And also, I don't know if people can comment on the YouTube channel, but I'm curious if people that are listening, if they want to weigh in with the question that I'm going to have here that involves Caden Olson and Emma Paul.
Yeah, please do. If you guys are out there listening and you're watching on YouTube, as I'm sure you are, there's the chat on the side. Make sure you listen in for Todd's question of the night, and feel free to chime in. First free throw, no good. Second one is good. That by Emily McKee. 16 seconds remain. Armstrong trailing 20-4. Ball tipped out of bounds. Will stay with the team in white. Of course, that's Armstrong. Fox Chapel wearing the away blacks. Is that the third jersey, or is that's their away?
Those are their ways, I believe.
7 seconds left. Yancey with the basketball, screened by Hogan. Only 3 seconds left.
Hawks need a hoop here.
Hawk with it. She's got to put it up from the elbow. No good. Looked like Yancey might have lost track of the time there. Quick pass over to Hawk. Yields nothing for the Riverhawks in terms of that possession. And the first quarter ends with the Foxes leading 20-4. We're going to take a quick break and come back for some second quarter action here on High Top Sports Network.
Steffi's Country Catering prepares home-style made-from-scratch dishes that will have you convinced Mom made it. Whatever the occasion, Steffi's Country Catering will have you coming back for every event year-round. Find us on Facebook to place an order or to see our Sunday specials, or call 724-54-85047.
Nice entry pass by Geyser.
And welcome back. Sorry for the late arrival, but trying to get that scoreboard working for you guys.
Hawks inbounded it there. Geyser threw a nice entry pass to Hogan. Just caught her just a little bit too low, and she wasn't able to handle that. So Fox's basketball.
So with a 20-4 lead, Jablon and the Foxes look to add on. Nice up and under there by Jablon, making it look easy despite the tight defense there by Swartz. The lead up to 18 now, just 30 seconds into this second quarter.
No. Mellish might have got bumped there, and they didn't call it.
Nothing doing on that trip by the Riverhawks. Turnovers starting to add up now for Armstrong. Hand check there by Swartz. First foul of the quarter. Kind of a foul-free first quarter there, Todd, too. And, well, actually, there were a couple trips to the free throw line. Certainly in the Fox Chapel end, one by, I think, Armstrong. Only one trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, I feel the first quarter went by rather quickly, not a lot of whistles.
Yeah, I guess that's why I thought there weren't a lot of fouls, but
Oh, my gosh.
Schaefer in there amongst the trees somehow gets the board, gets to go, and she'll have her second and one opportunity here of this first half.
Yeah, she's going to go for, another three-point play opportunity.
13 points for her. Looking to add on to that now. It seems like a lot of scoring options here, too, for this Fox Chapel team, and I always like to see that watching games like this because, come playoff time, you don't have to rely on one player,
Right. You never know who could be in foul trouble. You never know who could pick up an injury, roll an ankle. And it's nice to have several options. And the Foxes at least have three with Jablon, Urso, and Schaefer.
Schaefer no good on the and one attempt, but she makes the trip worth it with the bucket. So now the lead up to 20 here in the second quarter. Long three by Mellish, back rim, no good, bounced over the backboard and out of bounds. See, I've seen referees call that. I always thought you had to hit that belt sort of in that area.
Yeah, I don't know what that rule is. I always thought it was the plane, like if you break that plane, but I have seen it not called before,
Right.
So maybe they just missed it when I've seen it.
Obviously this year was a big year for change in rules. Obviously the 1-and-1 gone, which I want to get your opinion on that. I see you shaking your head, so I think I know what it is already.
I don't think anybody that's involved with like the coaching end of things doesn't like it very much.
Yeah, I think it takes out a ton of strategy, and certainly, I think the only place it's advantageous is if you're the team that's down late in the game and you got to just get those 5 fouls quickly in that quarter. Right. But otherwise, again, as a coach, and I've heard it from coaches, they're not enthused by the decision.
Right, the strategy aspect. If you're late in the game and you want to put some pressure on somebody, there's a lot of pressure to hit that front end of that 1-on-1, and that's gone now. Everybody when they go to the line knows that they have 2 no matter what.
So nothing on that trip for Fox Chapel. Swartz to inbound.
Oh, she got her.
Oh, nice inbounds play by Armstrong, drawn up by Coach Caliper there, but Fox Chapel quickly back in a pass in some tight quarters there, bounces out of bounds, but it'll stay here with Armstrong. Todd, I got to ask you then, what's your, because I believe it's somewhere around 50% of the states do this, but the shot clock, is that something you'd like to see instituted here in Pennsylvania?
Well, I haven't seen any really games where someone will sit and hold the ball for that long amount of time and have a quarter be like 2 points or 4 points scored in a quarter. I've not seen one of those games lately, so I guess if I would see a lot of those games, I would be clamoring for one. I'm a little bit worried about kids wanting to throw up bad shots and not be prepared to, factor in that extra layer of awareness. So I don't know. I'm probably 50-50 on it myself. What do you think about that?
I appreciate you asking because I talked about this on the air the other night, and I think just to be quick about it, I think that it's good for late in games because I really don't like, and I guess I sympathize for the teams that are down and they're just playing, it's a game of keep away, essentially at that point in the game. And I'd like to see just sort of, the playing field kind of even late in the game like that. Nobody came to the game to watch, players dribble around and try to keep it away from the other team. Right. It's like a game to capture the flag. So I guess in that sense, I'm in favor of it. I think 50% of the states somewhere around that have done it already, and I think whenever that's the case, it's probably going to be here eventually. I guess why the PIAL, because they had a vote on it recently, shut it down was cost.
Yeah.
And
you can see that if they mandate something like that, the schools are going to have to put that in, and it is going to have some cost to it.
Yes, and I guess somebody would have to run it by themselves, which seems weird to me. The same person running the clock couldn't do the shot clock? I don't know.
Probably not, because that person would have to be watching every time the ball hit the rim. I don't know if the person that's running the clock would be able to keep track of that.
Another Armstrong turnover lead to an easy layup on the other end from the left side by number 15, Adina Rosen. And Coach Caliper, again, a very frustrated timeout here as the Riverhawks have fallen behind now by 23 here with 5:26 remaining in quarter number 2. I want to thank another one of our sponsors while we have the opportunity. Again, they're the reason you guys get to watch these games wherever you may be. And that, of course, is tonight's official, timeout sponsor, since it is a timeout. That's Flanders Whole Home Solutions. Check them out now in Ford Cliff. That's Flanders Whole Home Solutions. But yeah, the game of basketball, Todd, and you coached it a long time ago when you had to coach Josh Schreckengoss, which I sympathize for. But the game since then till now has evolved, and I use the word evolve loosely because I think what it's done is mirrored the pro game. First, the college basketball began mirroring the pro game, and once you know it, high school basketball doing the same. High-paced, fast-paced transition, willingness to pull a three despite having numbers. You probably heard me on the broadcast, old man yelling at cloud.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the way the basketball's gone, but I do think things in sports tend to find a way to come back to the mean. And I think, good run through your offense, find easy, high percentage opportunities will find its way back into high school basketball in the end. But, what's your take on that?
Yeah, we're seeing more of a game where athletes are reigning supreme and athletes that can run the floor like you would see in the NBA. You don't see a lot of lockdown defensive teams anymore. It seems like everybody's trying to outscore each other. Things come full circle all the time. Who knows? This could be the new coaching craze where, hey, I don't have the athletes to run with a team like, say Fox Chapel, but I know that I can play good, strong defense, and if I can keep them under 40, I've got a chance to win. So you might start seeing that again.
That's a philosophy I'd like to see the Steelers adopt because they're content with playing these low-scoring games and trying to beat you on the ground, and I just don't think that's possible in today's NFL, but I digress. As Armstrong still sort of struggling on the offensive end, only 2 points to this point. Only one field goal, as a matter of fact, so far for Armstrong. Meanwhile, Fox Chapel kind of finding points in various ways. Shooting the basketball, doing a great job of penetrating, and also capitalizing from the charity stripe as well. And it looks like Fox Chapel made some substitutions there.
They did.
A moment ago, getting some run for some players, it seems, here early on to prepare for a possible postseason berth, I think.
It's one of those things when you have a really strong team like Fox Chapel does. It's it feels like the rich get richer because now nice cut by guys are there. You feel like then you can get some of your kids some extra time on the floor and still be in control of the game. Good rebound by Hogan. Nice job.
Nice job by Hogan. A couple opportunities, and we've seen that tonight. Armstrong has had second chance opportunities, Todd, just unable to capitalize them up until that point.
Nice rebound and finish there. I like that by Hogan. She's not going to give up. I know she's going to work out there the whole time she's there.
Is that senior element?
Yeah.
And this will be I believe our second to last Armstrong girls broadcast here on the network. We'll have the little friendly rivalry between the other school within the Armstrong School District. That's, of course, West Shamokin. That's, I think, about a week, maybe 2 weeks out. But another bucket there by Fox Chapel. Didn't catch who that was by.
That was Urso that made that one, number 22.
She's up to 7 points. Is Urso. 29-6 now the score. Nice shot. Oh,
I thought it was in.
Yeah, me too. Everybody kind of acted like it was too. The optical illusion, not a basket.
Well, it tickled the net there.
Three on the other end, no good. Yancey able to corral it. She thinks about looking ahead to Mellish, decides better and holds on to it. Four Foxes waiting at the score table to check in. Next whistle. There it is.
We're going to get a block there.
Nice job by Yancey to drive and draw the foul.
Well, let me ask you my question while they're shooting their free throws here, Joe. Armstrong High School has been open since 2015. The first graduating class was 2016. So I'm wondering who would be on the Mount Rushmore of athletes at Armstrong. Now, we have two that are given, so we can probably just get those two out of the way.
Are we saying that it's a boys-girls combination?
Yes.
Okay. Because, I've watched enough games here. I probably give you a Mount Rushmore for both genders.
So George Washington's spot's got to go to Emma Paul. I mean, I think that there's no one that's going to dispute that. And we got to put Caden Olsen in the Lincoln spot. So we've got spots in 1 and 2 filled, or 1A and 1B filled for sure. Now I need to know what other two belong up there.
I mean, I'd like people to weigh in again. Weigh in on YouTube of your Armstrong Mount Rushmore. We're almost a decade in, which is so hard to believe. Crazy to believe, really. I remember the first game I did here back in, it would have been early 2016. Just a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed sports reporter of the Leader Times. And I believe that night had, it was a game that involved one of my answers. So I think, now, I have to ask you, that's Schaefer at the line, a place she's very familiar with, but do they have to play their entire career?
Right. Well, I thought about both things. I thought about it being all 4 years here, And then I thought it was going to start to limit some of the athletes that you could pick.
Right. So
and then I started thinking about people like Zane Dudak, who only played 1 year at Armstrong and had a
two.
stellar he had stellar career at Katanning before the schools combined. So, I mean, should we leave somebody like that off? I don't know. So,
because you can make the case he had a better 2-year run than most people have over 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
The stuff he did on the football field was outrageous. So,
right.
Yeah. There's one of my
okay.
4.
Division I football player that went to Yale.
Record-breaking.
Yes, shattered every record around Katanning and Armstrong.
And won football games in fashions that I've not seen since, and I doubt I'll see again.
Right.
I'm thinking that year against Plum. I think he scored a touchdown in 4 or 5 different ways. It was just insane. And then my last one. I mean, you could go a lot of different ways here. But I'm actually, let me think on that because I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah, think about it because I've got some ones I want to run by you, and you can. I got some statistics too that you can chew on a little bit during the game.
Again, feel free to chime in with your Armstrong Mount Rushmore.
Funny story about Zane Dudak that Frank Fabian tells. He said he showed up as a freshman for practice and had these bright red shoes on at Katanning High School. And Frank's not a big fan for people sticking out, not being part of the team. And it said something to the effect that you better be able to do something special if you're going to wear those shoes on this team. And so it was the very first scrimmage against Red Bank Valley, and Dudak ripped one off for 85 yards for a touchdown. And apparently he came back to coach and said, "Is that good enough?" And I said, Frank shares stories. He's like, it was that point I pretty much told him he could wear any color shoes that he wanted.
Oh, man. Zane certainly, and that's a great point, too. He was so good at a young age. He came in as a freshman for Katanning and only got better and better and better from there.
Sure did.
No good on the free throw attempts there by Pock. Armstrong stuck at 6. Schaefer trying an up and under, but good defense by Swartz, who gets the, I guess you could call that a mini outlet pass there on the rebound by Armstrong, number 30, Chanel Bronson.
You think about how lucky here. The school's only been here since 2015, with 2016 graduating class. Like you said, a little less than 10 years, and we've already named 3 generational athletes that you really don't see come through very often to any high school. And nice rebound there. Good finish.
Yeah, Bronson keeping that one above her head. Nice job not to bring that down. She gets the putback, and the Armstrong Riverhawks now with 8 on the board. Again, I guess we get to start talking and saying names and playing this game, but the first name that comes to mind, and I'm just saying, they always say trust your first instinct, is Kenzie Lasher. And you got a list made.
Right there she is. She's on my list. Gannon University.
Yeah.
Four-time section champ and WPIAL champ at Ford City before she came to Armstrong.
And I mean, you're going to probably think of players that played multiple sports first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair because I think if you did excel in multiple sports, you deserve a little bit of a leg up, I guess, in the competition. But certainly, I just think pound for pound, first girl to score 1,000 points, second all-time leading scorer, but behind Emma Paul.
Right.
In basketball, what she did in volleyball might be, she'd probably say, and her mom would probably say, superior to what she did in the basketball court since she played in college.
Right.
So right now, that's my 4th. But I mean, again, there's names that we could throw around here.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Coach Caliper's son, Jordan.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Good player in the soccer pitch.
Nice shot by Mellish.
Mellish knocks that one down. Much needed 3 there by the Riverhawks. Now they trail 33-11. Just 22 seconds left here in quarter number 2. I didn't look at your sheet. I just noticed you pointed at Kenzie, so I don't want to.
Yep, she was on there. For sure she was on there. My daughter dances competitively at Gannon. And when we went up there, the sports information director, the very first thing he asked us when we knew we were from Armstrong, he asked us if we knew Kenzie Lasher. So that just goes to show you what kind of weight she pulled while she was at Gannon.
Another trip to the free throw line by Schaefer. Todd, I don't know how many it's been. I feel like this is somewhere around 5 for the Fox Chapel senior.
Nope, this is a check at Urso on the line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have the same ponytail look there, but
yep.
She's it's Urso. Schaefer's out.
First one no good. Second one upcoming. Just 10 seconds left. Shooters roll almost, it seemed. Good job to time her jump there and out rebound 2 Riverhawks in the area. That was number 13, Sophia Jacobs, but ball knocked out of bounds. Another chance for the Foxes. 8 seconds remain here in quarter number 2. I'll be curious to hear some of the other names you throw out there as well.
I've been doing a little research. I've cheated a little bit.
I feel like I'm forgetting people. And it's so easy whenever you are.
With the sound of this in the first half, your score: Fox Chapel 33, Armstrong 11.
End of the second quarter there, 33-11. The scores we head into halftime here. Fox Chapel kind of clicking on all cylinders, doing it all different ways, as we mentioned a moment ago. Getting some buckets, certainly in transition, making some threes. Equal distribution up and down the scoring sheet for the Foxes, who take a 33-11 lead into the halftime break. Todd, this score kind of not a surprise. We'll actually take a break here and make sure we give the Armstrong cheerleaders their due as well. So we'll be back and break down the first half here in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, Armstrong Riverhawks cheerleaders.
And welcome back. Well, I've got an opportunity. Let's thank a quick sponsor or two while we can. Certainly want to thank Armstrong Indoor Athletics, the premier baseball, softball facility in not just Armstrong County, but really the region. Pitching, batting cages, a indoor field, which is a resource certainly not a lot of places have. If you're looking to up your game, baseball or softball, make sure you call or check out AIA online at aia.team. Certainly other things you can do there as well. If you're an indoor soccer team looking to host a birthday party. I keep saying I want to have my birthday there, Todd. My birthday's next week. I want it to be an AIA.
They do all kinds of great things there. They have flea markets there.
Yep.
They do it all, and they do indoor softball games. I'm going to umpire a 10U softball game this weekend there, and so they're able to have the young kids playing there, which is great. I mean, this time of year, it's awesome.
What don't you do?
I had my umpire gear on, and I had to stop at Highland Pharmacy on my way down there when I umpired a game last month. And people were giving me looks like there was snow on the ground. It was 20 degrees. They're probably like, where the heck is he going to umpire a game?
Well, you had the whole garb on.
Yeah, well, I just had, I didn't have all the gear on.
I wish you would have had the helmet on.
I had the shirt and the pants for sure. It was clear where I was going.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, AIA is great. We spend a lot of time down there. We're members there. It's the best instruction you can find in the area. And the best hitting coach, I'll give a plug for him. Pete Harmon is an unbelievable hitting coach, not only for girls softball, but also for baseball. He's worked with many kids in the baseball program and almost all the girls in the softball program. And if anything here at Armstrong is consistent, it's putting studs up there on that softball field. And a lot of that is because of Pete Harmon's hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if this is true. This is, again, something that was said to me by Josh Schreckengoss, so I had to take it with a possible grain of salt. But Pete has a hitting encyclopedia. He made an actual encyclopedia for hitting, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I would believe it. I would believe it. Pete seems like that kind of person just from, what I've known him from the past. He was in charge when I was a younger man of a football league that was behind Katanning High School called the Wick City Football League. And he kept statistics, and he posted the statistics with like 12 teams. It was something crazy, and he would keep all the stats for touchdowns and interceptions and everything. It was crazy. And so he seems like a guy to me that would keep ledgers and journals and organize hitting manuals and such.
Yeah, he certainly knows what he's doing. There's no doubt about it. And you hear his former players and current players rave about his schooling. And you guys out there, if you're interested in bettering your game on the diamond, be it the softball or baseball diamond, give AIA a call. Or, again, find them online at aia.team. That's aia.team. First half, again, nothing that I don't think we are surprised by. Armstrong kind of struggling a little bit, but much of that is to do with the Fox Chapel team. As we've said a couple times, seem to be clicking on all cylinders and doing a really good job on both ends of the basketball court.
I thought the Riverhawks had a better second half than first half. Definitely scored more points. It's just, if they're not going to be able to stop the Fox's transition, it's going to be a long night for the Hawks. So I'm sure Coach Caliper, who's been around the block, and he's a very good coach, I'm sure they're working on adjustments now and trying to figure out a way to slow down the Fox's offense and transition game.
All right, so what are some of your other
Okay.
Back to this. So again, if you guys are out there on YouTube, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, I'm interested because I got a small little window where I wasn't deeply involved in Armstrong athletics. My kids were young, and I would just come and be a casual fan. So there might be somebody out there that I'm missing. But I do like Kenzie Lasher, and she's the number one alternate that I have on my list. So if we're going to go ahead and say Paul, Olson, and Dudak, we're only looking for one spot here. And I've got some really deserving people here for this spot. So Kataning's only state champion, Jacob Robb, was a wrestler here at Armstrong the first year and went to the state with PIAA playoffs and won. First state champion, and I think the only state champion, I'm reasonably sure, here at Armstrong. So he was on my list just because of the accomplishment. I also have a 4-year starter of baseball, Division II baseball player, and had an awesome career at Slippery Rock University, Eddie Morris.
Yes.
I also have somebody that has an interesting statistic that some people might not believe.
Quickly, though, do we add a strike against Eddie for having Ed as a dad? Ed, if you're listening, you know I'm joking.
I hope Coach Morris isn't listening because he's got one of my boys for lifting. So I'm gonna keep quiet on it.
No, Coach Morris is awesome. Certainly a baseball coach here during Eddie's time, and big part of the weight and weightlifting program here at Armstrong.
Younger boys love Eddie too. Anytime Eddie's around, they gravitate right toward him. He's going to make a great coach. I know that he's a teacher now, and I know he's out of school. And I'll tell you what, if I were a school looking for a baseball coach, I would get him involved right now as an assistant, get him some experience, and make him a head coach as soon as you can because he's got the experience and he's great with kids. All right, here's another one I have for you might find interesting. Only 8 players in the WPIAL. Wow. 8 total have run for 1,000 yards and have thrown for 1,000 yards. One was just the guy from Leechburg. He was number 8.
Yeah.
Number 7 was Sky Moore. Number 6 was Jalen Price.
Right.
So just that, in general, of being one of only 8 in the history of the WPIAL, puts him into a little bit of consideration, I believe. Plus, he was a standout basketball player. I believe he lettered 3 years.
Wasn't there another Armstrong? Is it Dawson? Is Dawson on that list, or is Michael Lote?
I do not have Dawson Porter or Michael Lowe, but I forgot totally about Dawson.
I think he ran for 1,000 and passed for 1,000 as well.
Oh, yeah, I think Dawson did. Yes, I think Dawson was one of them too.
And that's a guy, again, he's certainly in contention. If we're talking about the sixth man of this Mount Rushmore.
Sorry, Dawson. I didn't think of it if his family's missing. I used to love watching him play.
How many did you say is on that list of 1,000?
There's 8. The kid from Leechburg made number 8. And then Sky Moore and Jalen were friends. They played travel basketball together. They were back-to-back. I think either the same year or maybe Sky Moore was the year before Jalen.
Yeah, I want to say that Armstrong, man, I wish Coach Fabian was here. Or Coach Fabian himself might have coached 3 of those 8. I want to say there's 3 Armstrong guys on that list, if I'm not mistaken.
His kind of offense lends to it, so that would make sense. All right, let me run these other ones by you. I got Nate Bailey on here.
Yeah.
Class 2018, had offers from Army and from Yale. Decided on Mercyhurst, but an excellent football player here, obviously Division I talent, and great basketball player, part of the boys' coaching staff. I have Lauren Bowser, 4-year letter winner for volleyball. Girl could jump out of the gym, was an excellent volleyball player here.
Yep.
And also a wrestler. I have a wrestler that was a 2-time state place winner, and I believe he's still wrestling in college now at Pitt Johnstown, Augie Atwood. I have Augie Atwood on my list as well. And the first 4-year letterman for the girls softball, which if you're going to put softball in, we'd have to probably start talking about Jenna Klontz. But the first 4-year softball letter winner was Anna Harmon, who was a great player here in the early years of Armstrong High School. 4-year letterman for her. But I do have Jenna Klontz on my list just because the clutch home run that girl hit in the WPIAL final. When you're a kid and you're tossing the wiffle ball up to yourself in the backyard because you're by yourself, you're setting yourself up to win a home run, to win some type of championship game. And that girl stepped up to the plate in the bottom of the 7th in the WPIAL championship game and hit a walk-off homer. That has to put her in consideration for sure on this list.
Yeah, that's a heck of a list. And again, I feel guilty now. I feel like we should have done a Mount Rushmore of male athletes and female athletes.
We could have.
Because it's so hard to leave some of these names off that list because they're all so deserving. You mentioned Jacob Robb. I'm fortunate enough, one of the more marquee events that I got to cover early on in my career was him at States. I went the whole way out to Hershey.
Oh, good. So you saw it then live.
I did. And, by all my understanding, I believe he is the only state champion still. And there's even a few WPIAL champions, individuals. I think, it's 3. Yeah. Or 3 or 4. Rob won one in wrestling.
Okay.
Dudek in track.
Yes, I remember
And
Dudek.
Kylie Grafton there for javelin. So.
Oh, right.
And Hogan, I bet she.
Maybe we'll see one from her this year.
Yeah. But again, man, oh man, this is the kind of question I feel like I need probably a full day to come up with a respectable answer.
I just hope I didn't leave somebody off my honorable mention list or the list to go in for number 4 there. I just hope I didn't leave somebody off that was super duper deserving.
Yeah, and I feel guilty saying it, but Eddie was a great one too. You know, that's the high IQ. You kind of mentioned it when you talked about him being a coach, and there are a lot of ways he was so much around coaching because Coach Morris did Legion Ball. They did the Freeport International as well. Just a very high IQ athlete. People forget Eddie, a great shootout player. When they play shootout, I think I played once with Eddie. Not a bad shootout player.
Yeah, he had a great career at Slippery Rock. I know he contributed to the team. And he definitely is somebody. Sometimes baseball kind of slides by without people thinking about it because it takes place up on the hill there. And it's near the end of the school year. But and then softball's overshadowed it, I believe, over the last 5 or 6 years. But he definitely is a candidate that needs to be thought about for sure.
Man, now we got to talk about the Mount Rushmore of teams. Because that's a good one there as well.
Yeah. I have a feeling that some of the athletes that we're putting on our Mount Rushmore are going to be part of those teams.
Yeah, and there's a really good chance that all of the teams in those cases could have the same athlete on it for guys and girls. Still on the press by the Foxes.
Nice job by Urso there, keeping that ball alive.
And McKee, the recipient of that pass, she gets it up and in, 35-11. Now the score, third quarter. Man, oh man, Todd, this. I want to keep talking about this stuff. It's such a great topic. It really is.
I've been stewing on it for a couple of weeks. When I found out I was going to do this game, I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a good thing to talk about.
Well, give and go there, but a big swat by Schaefer. We'll stay with the Riverhawks. Ball under the basket. 7:13 left, 35-11. Do the Fox Chapel boys play here this year?
No, Fox Chapel boys moved up to 6A.
That's what I thought.
So they are no longer in with the Hawks.
Going the other way. No good, but they put back no good as well. Stolen away. Looks like Yancey coming out of the scrum with it. Nothing doing on that trip for the Foxes. 35-11. Gazer with it. She goes up. Good defense. Can't get it to go. Hogan put back, fouled, and she'll head to the line, and she'll shoot a pair.
Hogan's having a nice gritty game here. She's working hard.
As we kind of mentioned there a moment ago, I guess it's fair to say her best season upcoming here in the spring, and she'll be competing in the track and field team. She's a thrower. Went to states last year.
Nothing's better than breaking your coach's school record, and I think she broke Coach Maddie Bailey's record last year, which is always nice.
Which is hard to believe. I guess with the school being so young, it's possible. But a lot of young coaches here, too. You talk about Nate. He was, maybe a year removed from college when he started helping out in the boys basketball team. You mentioned Jalen Price. I believe he coaches some of the younger
they're coaching
teams
down in the junior high. His brother Isaiah is coaching the 8th grade team. Jalen coached the 7th grade team. Jalen coached the 9th grade boys team here for the last couple of years.
But the two on Nate, he gets a lot of headlines for what he did in the football field. A big reason why Zane Dudek was able to do what he did. And but people forget, he was the All-Leader Times Player of the Year that year for all of Armstrong County. You're including Apollo, you're including Leechburg, West Shamokin, Red Bank Valley, Karn City. And he was the Player of the Year that year.
Yes, all around a nice athlete.
Up and almost gets it to go. She'll get another trip to the line. Will number 12, Natalie Schaefer. All right, so now she is at the line. How many times has she been at the line as Schaefer? It feels like we're going to be nearing double digits here pretty soon.
Well, I know she's had about 2 and 1s for sure. I'm going to guess this is her 4th time on the line.
It's the first one to go, does Schaefer. Extends the lead, 36-12.
Nate and Maddie get that athleticism, honestly. Both their parents were excellent athletes in high school and went to high school at Katanning with their mom and played sports against the dad at Ford City, and he was good at every single sport that he played, basketball, baseball, and football.
Of course.
And I tell Nate that all the time, and Nate's like, him? And he'll point to Bruce. And I say, yes, him.
Becky and Bruce, of course, Nate's parents. Both very involved.
Whoa.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
That almost went in.
That almost went in.
Nice job by Mellish there. Heard the whistle and threw it up. This is why I like, when you can tell Mellish watches the game of basketball there. She knew she was fouled. She just threw it up and almost made a spectacular and one.
I'm trying to think if that was that Jordan did that against. It's very reminiscent of that Michael Jordan play where back to the hoop and just kind of toss it over her shoulder.
Yep. Nice. That's good.
Nice job there by Mellish to capitalize. She gets both to go. Her total now up to 5. Hawk back into the game. Mellish going to get a little breather here. Probably get ready for the stretch run as, again, this will be her final home contest. Nice drive by Jablon, but a little too much contact there by Swartz. And she'll head to the line.
Armstrong foul call against number 44, Avery Hogan.
You got to like that aggressiveness from Swartz. She's really shown it from day one. Tough defender, tasked with guarding Jablon. And that's no easy task.
Not easy, but she's trying and she's doing a decent job.
First one no good by Jablon. More upcoming. That one is good. Jablon up to 8 points. I think that's second best on the team right now behind Schaefer's 17. Schaefer a game high 17. Dumped down inside by Yancey to Hogan, throws it up, no good. Ball loose, coming out of it is Fox Chapel. They'll get it and go. Quick there was Fox Chapel, that was number 5. Man, oh man, she was quick down the court with McKee.
She's an excellent soccer player. So if you saw the quick footwork there, that's why.
Jablon, oh, that's a tough call, but I think Jablon would have been better off taking that one up as when she was in stride. Tries to come to that jump stop shot fake, but Swartz not biting on it, but still Jablon buys the foul, and she'll head to the line and shoot a pair. Now the game's getting a little slower, Todd.
Yeah.
Because these free throws adding up.
Right.
First one good.
Yeah, number 5, McKee, was a big player, or she still is a big player on Fox's soccer team. They won the WPIAL championship last year, and she contributed on that team as a freshman.
Second one good by the junior, Jablon. 40-14 now. Fox is out in front. I believe, 30 that gets the clock?
Yes.
So the Foxes are nearing that. They lead by 26. Top shot there by Mellish. Wow, the scoop by Mellish.
Great shot. I like the aggressiveness there. Nice job by Marlowe. Nice pass.
Great pass, yeah. Schaefer now just a point away from reaching 20 for the game. She's up to 19.
The Hawks work so hard for that shot by Mellish, and then Jablon just comes down and makes it look so easy. Dishes it to Schaefer for an easy 2.
Yeah, that trend continuing. They're not afraid to push the ball forward, are the Foxes.
Geyser with the scoop.
Whew. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Geyser. After Mellish makes a very similar looking shot in the last trip.
Exactly the same.
Jablon, nice looking shot fake there, but Pauk does a good job of keeping
nice
her
move without the basketball.
Oh,
nice job by Urso. Good cut to the hoop. Nice little Euro there.
Yeah, stepping around the traffic and gets it to go. And score now 44-18. Armstrong scoring in its last 2 possessions after, I think, having just 4 total in that first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the offense is clicking a little bit now. They get a couple defensive stands here.
One thing I think that Armstrong is doing a better job at this stage of the season than they were early on is kind of staying with that offense, running through the offense, being patient, waiting a little bit more. Yancey has a chance baseline, pass across, Mellish 3 up and no good. Good job of drawing in the traffic there was Yancey, saw Mellish on the sideline and a little shove by Mellish.
Yeah, probably frustration foul there.
Armstrong foul call against number 23, Marlo Mellish. That's her second 15th foul in the quarter.
So the 5th foul already for Armstrong and 3:27 left, Todd.
Guess who's at the line?
I'm
Schaefer.
going to guess Schaefer. Yes. I mean, I wish I had that stat. I want to say Schaefer has more than 18 because they had her at 17 before that last trip to the free throw
saying
line.
that.
Maybe they
might have had a mistake up there earlier then. Yeah. I know that you said she was at 19. Regardless, now she's at 19.
So she's one of 2 players in double figures now. Jablon the other with 10. And Fox Chapel now leads 46-18. 28-point advantage. Still just over halfway through this.
Guys are nice.
And there you go, Armstrong running through the offense, Todd, and it's worked here a couple times in this 3rd quarter. Guys are
just shows you the bright spot for the Hawks there. Guys are catching that ball on the block and a nice drop step and score there. You know, it's a nice move by a freshman.
High top zone. Liam Badek in the house. Thanks, Liam. Good to see you, buddy. Armstrong now. Nothing doing on that trip. Jablon will inbound, but more scoring in this quarter than certainly we saw in much of that first half. And Todd, you made the point that they got better in that 2nd quarter, and it seems like the 3rd quarter even better than that.
Yeah, the basketball game is looking nice and smooth now, both sides.
Jablon, the basketball, gets it to Urso, back to Jablon. Step through there, just a bit short. That Armstrong defense doing a good job of collapsing down.
Really nice, yep, nice job not fouling there. Oh.
Mellor somehow gets that to guys.
One more, nice pass.
Extra pass is good. You're thinking like a coach, and I'm kind of a second behind you there, Todd, because that one extra pass there could have easily went up with the shot. Instead, gets it to Bronson, who gets it to go. Don't look now, Armstrong up to 22 points.
Just to add to my praise, the guys are there. She knew, number 1, that her teammate was open. Number 2, she was unselfish. And their teammate actually had a better chance at a shot there, a more open shot. So nice job, Amelia Geyser.
So Armstrong now trailing 46-22, 1:52 left, quarter number 3.
Got it.
Got it, indeed. Mellish with the 3.
That one looked good coming out of her hand. The Fox is on a nice little run here.
46-25.
I'm sorry, Hawks are on a nice little run here.
3 up
Yikes.
by Urso, good, and that's how you suck the wind out of a good run like that. You drain a 3, and Urso does just that.
A couple feet behind the line, too, Joe.
I was saying that's not my range when I played. Urso, though, making it look easy.
Yep, that's right. I always keep my toes right in the line.
My toes were closer to the paint. Now, jump ball there between Hogan and number 15, Adina Rosen. Possession arrow favors the Riverhawks, so Mellish will inbound. Just a hair over a minute left, 1:04 to be exact. Quarter number 3, 49-25. Hogan gets it to Mellish off her hands. We got Liam up here in the booth. Liam, we'll give you, I don't know how much of a Armstrong historian you are, but Todd posed an excellent question. You know what Mount Rushmore is. There's, 4 presidents all up on there. Who is Armstrong's Mount Rushmore as we near 10 years? Who's on Armstrong's Mount Rushmore? Now, obviously, it's male and female athletes.
Obviously, I think you have to give a spot not only to Emma Paul, but also Kate Molson.
Yep.
What they did in multiple sports is just unreal.
Todd put it perfectly. That's Lincoln and that's Washington there.
Yeah.
As Hogan gets it up to go.
Good job by Hogan. Good entry pass there, too.
You got to get 2 more then. As a little baseline drive, Hogan with a little bump, but not enough to draw the foul. Another turnover by Fox Chapel, and those have kind of added up slowly here in this 3rd quarter. 21 seconds left on the clock, and Yancey heading to the line because that's the 5th foul. Both teams with 5 fouls in this quarter, so quite a few. You don't see that too often now.
Foul play against number 4, Ella Shevchuk. That's her second. 15
Saying do that. That's what
fouls.
that was 10 years ago. But what he did, I think he broke a couple records on the football.
Just a couple.
But yeah, I'd have to give a spot to him. And
Well, you've got our top 3, Liam.
Yep.
Those
are
are
the
our
first
top
3 we said.
I'm trying to think of another athlete.
I'll think on it for a second. I think, was that the first person that came to mind for you, my 4th? Was that what you thought too?
Yeah, sure.
So a nice trip there at the line for Hogan. Able to get this Armstrong team back within just 21. 12 seconds left, though.
Oh, there's a foul away from the ball, but Jablon just made an awesome backdoor cut there. You can tell her and Urso have been playing together for a long time.
Armstrong foul play against number 21, Bella Yancey. That's her
Yancey
third.
whistled for the foul. That'll send.
This was actually good for the Hawks that they committed a foul there because Jablon had a layup.
So the senior pick at the line, 5'7" forward. No good on the first. I know. I'm going to have to check and see if anybody on YouTube gave their input. Gazer with the board, 9 seconds left. Good job, Armstrong, getting the ball ahead. Yancey trying to go baseline, and a nice take indeed as she draws the foul, stops the clock with 3 seconds left.
A lot of the Armstrong programs run that break up the sideline there. Even the junior high program does that on the boys' side. The varsity boys will do that too. I like that. I like that movement up the sideline, and it gives a good chance for a layup or a good mismatch or a 2-on-1 on the other end.
You saw, I think, the 3 or 4 players on that touched it. The middle 2. Ball didn't even touch the floor.
All right, that's how you want to do it.
Certainly. And
I think I'm going to give it to another basketball player.
so 1 for 2 is Yancey. 1 second left, though. Jablon just a bit outside her range as the Riverhawks with a very strong quarter there. And again, there's those moral victories, Todd, that again, you don't want to call them moral victories, but when you see your team down by as much as the Riverhawks have been, fight back and bring them back within 20.
Yeah, we were just talking about the mercy rule and about having it be at 30 points, and here we are sitting at 20-point difference.
Yeah, 49-29, but we'll pause and let the Armstrong cheerleaders do their thing, and we'll be back here for fourth quarter action. Yeah, welcome back. So, Liam, we were going to just see what you... so Todd and I both said Kenzie Lasher is the 4th. He doesn't know that is. That just makes me feel old because I remember coming in... I remember Kenzie's freshman year, I think. No, she was at Fort City.
Yeah, I got her as a 2018 graduate, so we got to give Liam a pass on that because she's probably
How old?
8.
How were you in 2018?
2018? 9.
You probably don't even remember watching games in here if you were in this gym.
You're a 2009 birthday, right? So you'd have been 9. So yeah, you probably don't remember her playing here.
First possession. Nice left-handed layup there by Bailey Sacco, the freshman. I believe you mentioned her in pregame as well.
Yeah, she was one of the starters.
So the Foxes capitalize on the first possession here of the fourth quarter.
Nice inside out there from Hogan to Yancey. A little bit long.
Foxes try to push it forward.
Oh, that was probably a foul. He did call it. He called it late. Oh, guess who's going to the line?
Schaefer? Mellish with her third foul. She's had a couple frustration fouls here. I secretly think she's trying to foul out of this game.
I was just going to ask you, is that like a tradition that it's your last game on the floor? Are you going to go out with the 5th foul?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about a tradition, but I think it's something that is in the back of your mind if you know it's your last game.
Okay.
So I'm predicting that she fouls out. Let's see if I'm right.
All right.
You chime in on YouTube if you think she's going to foul out. Let us know on YouTube. Second free throw up and good by Schaefer. She's up to 23 points.
We get a couple good questions.
Just share your thoughts. Anything you want to tell us on YouTube, please. Because usually you guys are just bickering about.
Right?
Yeah,
Can't hear. It's not loud enough.
Yeah, not loud enough.
Just quit talking about that.
It's not on yet. Well, the game started late. Jeez, oh, pizza people. I digress.
We got people quick to pull the YouTube trigger.
Oh, yeah. That's an understatement. But we love you guys. We know that it's a privilege to get to talk to you guys on a nightly basis. And
oh man, Urso, boy, I'll tell you, the Foxes are clicking.
Yeah, and every time it seems like Armstrong gets something going, there's Urso to knock down a 3, and there's another one for that young lady. Gets the Foxes up to 56. Armstrong still stuck at 29.
Open 3 for Yancey.
Just a bit short. Good box out there by the aforementioned Urso. She's going to get it out and go.
And she's got numbers here.
Another 3 up by Schaefer. No good. Into the hands of Yancey. She tries to get it out. She does. Bronson then to Mellish. Mellish,
got your back.
No numbers, but she's going to bring it in anyways.
All right.
See, that in the day, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, you're not getting that call because you're trying to take on 3 defenders.
Right, probably not. Probably not.
I wish I would have played in this era.
Were you a good free throw shooter?
I wasn't bad. I don't think I was the greatest, but I just know there were a lot of opportunities like that I would found myself as not a point guard, but having to pull it out and wait for my teammates to catch up. And so, do they do like a hoop shoot around here where you get you go around and get people to donate money for you shoot free throws, and then I say I'll give you a nickel for every free throw made.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. I know they have like the Elks and like the Knights of Columbus, like the contest of the hoop shoots. But I know what you're talking about, to give like money to pledge for how many you make or
out
whatever.
of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my senior year, I made 94 out of 100.
Holy smoke! You just told me that you thought maybe you weren't that great,
but
or
that's
you
no
were average.
That's no pressure though. That's sitting there shooting 10 at a time.
I don't think I ever sat there and was able to make 94 out of 100. That's pretty impressive.
Junior, I made 88, so I upped it by 6. Shot no good there by Swartz. But if I'm gauging it on that, then I'm an excellent free throw shooter. But I'm not gauging it on that. I'd like to know, I don't have this number, but whatever my free throw percentage was my senior year, I don't think it was 94%.
It wasn't 94%.
No. No, not even close, I'm sure. 56-30 the score. Good job there by Bronson to keep those hands up. No foul called.
Nice job again by another one of the young Hawk players.
56-30. Make sure you get that right. Swartz with the basketball. Gets it over to Mellish. I'm sorry, Liam, did you tap on my shoulder a second ago? Do you have your, I thought you had we mentioned quite a few athletes. A baseball player you might know, Eddie Morris, made our honorable mention. Dawson Porter, another excellent baseball player. I used to always say, and we talk about Zane as a football player, Dudek. Here's my fun Zane story for you. Zane had a ridiculous batting average his senior year. You know why? He was excellent hitting ground balls to the left side of the field.
No one could throw him out.
Nobody could throw him out. Nope. I'd love to know the number of hits he got just by little choppers to the left side.
The equivalent of a slap hitter in softball.
Yeah.
I think Dawson went on to kick somewhere, Westminster.
Maybe? Yeah.
He had some injuries. I always felt bad for him because it felt like, right when he was trying to get healthy, then he was dealing with, I think, a hip maybe. I can't quite remember.
A nice job there by Jablon and that's how you can buy the foul whenever you have a defender putting their arm straight up. You kind of get that, try to do that up and under, where it's inevitable that you're going to make contact with the defender. Just a high IQ player, you can tell.
Yeah. You can tell she spends all spring and summer in AAU tournaments, AAU gyms.
First shot is up and good.
First one by Layla Jablon. Good. So is Jablon a basketball first athlete, Todd?
Yes, it might be the only sport. I'm not quite sure. I teach in the middle school, and she did not come to Fox Chapel until she was in 9th grade. Her brother is at our school, her little brother right now, but I don't know where they came from. But she did not go through our school, so I'm not sure about any other sports that she might play.
So Jablon at 1 for 2 in that trip. at the charity stripe. 55-30. Trying to dump it back inside to the Riverhawks. And it seems like, not that I don't think that's a good strategy getting it to Hogan, but whenever they were maybe not focusing on that, making that their primary goal as much, the scoring seemed to kind of have an uptick. And
It looks like it's obviously that's part of the game plan to get it into Hogan to see what she can do.
That went off the hands of Bronson into the hands of Urso, who's going to get it out and go. Nice bounce passage up long, left-hand layup, no good, but the foul committed by Mellish, and she's at 4 now, Todd.
I think that your prediction is going to come to fruition.
Is the body language telling you that as well? Because it is to me. It seems like that foul was very swat, walk away, no motion.
Plus, I'm looking at the clock and see that there's 4 minutes left. That's a lot of time to pick up a foul.
I'm telling you, if we get a chance, we got to ask Marla Mellish if it was her intention to foul out of this game, because I feel like it is. Game maybe a little bit out of reach. 25-point disadvantage for Armstrong. 4:11 left. Wouldn't be surprised.
Now, here's the thing, Joe. You got to time this, right? Because
Yes.
it's your last home game. You don't want to foul out with 4 minutes left. So you got to time this thing for 10, 15 seconds, a minute.
I'm
right?
going to say it's coming around the 2-minute mark.
Okay.
Right around the 2-minute mark.
Then, you know, in my opinion, I'd be wanting to savor every last second when I was on this floor, you know, so I'd want to try to let it run close to the end as I could.
That's her fourth. 17 foul quarter.
Maybe Coach Caliper's on her and Gazer's coming in. She's kind of looking over Mellish's way. We'll see. As Hogan missed the first, makes the first.
First shot is up and good.
Oh, nope. Gazer coming in for the shooter.
Yeah. Anytime I'd make a big mistake, I'd hear that buzzer and I'd just not look. I would just look down at the floor hoping the person wasn't coming for me. And then I used that fear when I coached, and I would say, if you go ahead and do this or this or this or this, when you hear the buzzer, don't even bother. Just start walking for the bench because it's for you.
Oh, man.
And sometimes that was for your counterpart,
So I have to ask you, because
Mr. Joshua Schreckengoss.
I've heard so many stories about you. Stories for days. The name Crash Ball, where did that come from?
Well, I used to really push those guys to crash the boards. And so I was a young man. I was only probably 22 or 23 years old when I was their JV coach. And so I was in really good basketball shape, really super good basketball shape. And I would just eat those guys alive, eat them alive during practices. I would take 4 of the JV kids and just murder them. And I would scream at them that they needed to crash the boards or they weren't going to be able to compete on the 5A level.
Or walk home.
I'm sure they hated me. I love those kids, but there were times they didn't like me very much. Josh speaks fondly of that time. I'm not sure that he felt that when the time was actually taking place.
He does speak very fondly, even when he's not in the air with you, so it must be true.
I loved him and his buddies. His buddies, they were all good kids.
You also coached cross country, I understand?
I did, just because they didn't have a coach, and I was trying to find a teaching job. Running wasn't my forte back then, but I did coach it and had Josh in cross country as well.
So the Foxes will make a full change here, a hockey line change, and 5 go out, 5 come in.
Is Josh doing the hockey game tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, again, a good point, Liam. Armstrong Hockey will be on the network here tonight, probably on the air. Yep, probably about 10 minutes ago. 8:20 start there at the Belmont Complex. But, of course, then I've heard you on the air talk about it, Wilbur Stitt. That's, of course, Chuck Stitt.
Chuck Stitt, yes. Love Chuck Stitt. He was the only real runner that we had on that team. The rest of us were a bunch of lugs.
Oh, man. What a sport, though. I've gotten into golf these recent years, Todd, and I think that's the most mentally challenging sport now that I played it. But before that, I always thought it was cross country. It was a nice shot there, left-handed by number 15, Adina Rosen, I believe it was.
Nice take there by Adina Rosen, senior. Yeah, we did have a nice little advantage, though, at Katanning because our course included the community Park Hill. So, we trained on it, of course, and then when we'd have the away teams come and we'd have a home meet, it was daunting, challenging for these teams to have to run up. We had to run down it and around a cone at the bottom and run back up, which is a killer of a hill for people that don't know.
Very much so. That's where Katanning baseball played, correct?
Yep, that's where I played up there.
That one no good, but Shooter gets her own rebound. That's number 31, Taylor Stalker. Stalker kicks it out now to 21. Shea Pick, no good. Another opportunity for the relentless Foxes. Somehow Mellish gets it, who's running out of time to foul out of this game. 1:47 left. She has the basketball.
How about go out with a charge? Let's just go flying right in here.
I'm calling it still. I'm sticking to my guns here.
You might get it. Oh, she had her chance there.
Up and under, no good.
The substitutes might be for her. If she's going to do it, she better do it quickly. The
She just ran out of time because the clock just kind of has ticked along here the last couple minutes.
Referees might have let a couple fouls go right there.
Yep, and that's what's.
Yep, she's coming out.
Oh, you can't do it on a timeout.
Yep, he's giving her the hug. I think that's it for her.
Yep.
Got Yancey. That's it for her.
Well, that's why I don't bet, Todd. I would
have been with you on it, to tell you the truth.
With as much time that was left at that point, I thought for sure.
Yeah.
The way she was fouling, it looked like she had an objective. But
a lot of times you take these seniors out one at a time to give them their little ovation, but I see Coach just took all three of them out at once, so they all came out together. They share the floor together as seniors, and they walked off together as seniors, so it was a nice little moment there.
Yeah, hats off to Marla Mellish, Bella Yancey, and Avery Hogan.
As we talked about before, what a career, what memories that they have with this team and with the program.
Hawk with a nice baseline drive, gets her own rebound, puts it up, but no good. But she will be, I believe, rewarded with a trip to the free throw line.
Nice job by Pac there, good take.
You know, she's one of those players, very raw at the beginning of the year, but you're talking about seeing that improvement throughout the year. Certainly, I think Bella Pac shown that.
Foul on Pac is, interestingly enough, by Taylor Stalker. I see both of those girls working out, doing the extra work down at Ron McNabb's Pittsburgh Basketball Academy at the old Freeport High School. I see them down there to work out with my son. Great place for people to get extra basketball work in.
Them do it on the last free throw attempt, 57 seconds left. And Fox Chapel, I think, fair to say now, comfortably going to come away with a victory here, up 57-33.
Yep.
Pac gets that one knocked away. I need to ask Matt Pac, where did Bella get her height from? Because I don't think her sisters were nearly as tall as she is. She seems, and now it's so hard from up here too, because it's hard to judge height from this high up. But I want to say that she's probably the tallest of her sisters.
Yeah, she's got a tall, athletic uncle. His name's Mike. He and I are friends, so maybe she gets it from him.
One thing that's consistent, the number 24. Pac to inbound. Gazer looks up. Ooh, no good.
Just missed that.
And it's off the hands of Bronson, or excuse me, no, off of Fox Chapel player Bronson there in the middle of it. But the Hawks will maintain possession. 24 seconds left. Nice bounce pass in by Pac, but blocked on the shot attempt there. That was Carly Ehrman.
Yeah, he's got some freshmen out on the floor now for sure. And Pac's going to get a shot in the corner here.
Kicks back to Gazer. Gazer's going to drive the lane, fouled up.
Get in.
Almost. And she'll head to the line, shoot a pair with 13 seconds left to try to add to her point total. She has 6 so far in the game. Does the Armstrong freshman. First one good. Second free throw good as well. 2 for 2 on that trip. And just 11 seconds left. Looks like Foxes will likely just hold on to it and let the clock expire and collect the section victory here on the road tonight at Armstrong. Nope, I'm wrong. Puts the shot up.
Oh, that might be good.
It is indeed good. All right, number 13, adding to that final point total, that's Sarah Anderson. Juicin, another freshman.
Yeah. It's nice she snuck in, got under into the scorebook there.
So that will finalize things. Your final score here tonight from Armstrong, 59-35. Fox is victorious in this section victory. Todd, absolute pleasure, man.
Loved it, Joe. I love High Top Sports. I love the work that you and Josh do. I'm a big fan. I wish that I had a bunch of money so I could be a benefactor of this great product that you guys put out there. But I really enjoy what you guys have, and I always cherish the time that I get to get on and do some work with you guys. So thank you for having me.
That was a tremendous compliment, man. Coming from you, it means a whole heck of a lot. We hold you in a high regard as well. Hope you know that. If I were a better man, I would get up early and go to CrossFit with all you crazy people at the Y in the mornings too also. But I will tell you this, and this is a little message to the Y folks, or yourself, because I know you teach stuff down there, don't you?
I do, yeah. I teach classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday down there. Yeah, fitness class at 5 a.m.
If they get yoga lattes, I will sign up.
Okay.
I did it once in college, and it was awesome. So
I know they have straight yoga. I don't know about yoga lattes.
yeah, I don't know if either would have the same benefit as them combined. I just know that from my experience at Slippery Rock, we mentioned that, another guilty plug for The Rock. I was in a yoga lattes class and had about 72 people in it. I was one of 3 guys.
Well, that's not bad.
So went out immediately afterwards, played basketball, and was jumping out of the gym. So that's my that's why I pledged my allegiance to yoga lattes. But man, Todd, enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Great to do this game with you. Hopefully more down the road. As we're nearing the end of the season, hard to believe. This was the last home game for these Riverhawk girls. We will have one more game on the network. That, of course, when they face the West Shamokin Wolves in a little friendly game between Armstrong School District programs.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I'll be watching.
Certainly. Thank you again, Todd. You're the best, man. Appreciate you. Liam, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming up and lending your hand there with camera late in the game. And thank you guys out there as well for tuning in. Want to quickly thank our sponsors again. We might have been a little chatty this broadcast, but for good reason. But I want to make sure to thank our sponsors, Ryan Bowser State Farm, Olson Chiropractic, Phoenix Physical Therapy, John Graff Insurance, Flanders Whole Home Solutions, Nick Land Photography, I believe, as well. Thank you guys so much. Again, Ryan Bowser State Farm, Olson Chiropractic, Phoenix Physical Therapy, John Graff, and insurance right there in downtown Katanning, and Flanders Whole Home Solutions. Joy here being with you guys tonight, getting to do the game with Todd Ashbaugh, the best. Also Liam, just very lucky to get to do what we do, where we do it, with the people we do it. Can't understate that enough as well. So my thanks to Todd Ashbaugh and Liam Badek for their help here tonight on High Top Sports Network. And lastly, thank you guys. We love doing what we do for you guys, wherever you may be, whether it's on a laptop or you got a smart TV or you're on your cell phone on the go. We do it because we want to bring you the action. If you can't be here or just can't show up at the gym or the field for one reason or another, if you're out of town or just life takes you a certain way. So we do it for you guys, and I hope you enjoy what we do because, again, it's an absolute joy where we do it. So thank you guys. Continue to tune in. We got the rest of the regular season here coming to a fast end, but we'll have playoff basketball certainly for you. As I mentioned, Josh on the network tonight doing the Armstrong hockey game. I believe they play Penn Trafford, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want some more great Armstrong sporting events in your near future, well, you don't have to wait. There's one on right now. Turn that on also on YouTube, or you can find it on hightopsportsnetwork.com. And 2, make sure you guys subscribe and like us on all of our social media platforms. I can't emphasize enough that a lot of you guys will comment, and you're frequenters on our social media page. Just make sure you like and follow us because that helps us out immensely when it comes to analytics and things of the sort. So make sure you like and follow us if you're on our website often and our social media platforms as well. So again, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to get off here and get packing and see you next time here on High Top Sports Network. You have a great rest of your week, folks. And may no train pass you by. We'll see you.